In this video, I will describe the basics of using different types of statistical functions in Excel to analyze data. Now, there are many different types of functions, such as the average and the standard deviation, in many different categories within Excel, but we're going to concentrate on the statistical functions, in which we work out with numerical data and perform some elementary as well as some advanced operations. So what I have here is a column of numbers of data of people's age, and we're going to use this as an example of how to perform a basic function in Excel. So some important things to remember about functions. Functions, as we see here in the function box, are going to indicate what type of analysis we are requesting. So the function output can be placed in any empty cell. So down here on B17 is where I want the result of my function to be placed. And so it's going to return the value of that function in that cell. And so it typically makes sense to place where we want the outcome or the result of the function. We want to place that close to the data that we're actually analyzing, so we can stay organized and be able to find the result of a function very easily. Now, a function can be entered into the function box here up along the top, either manually or automatically. And I'll talk about how to do that as we move through the video. So first, let's learn how to enter a function automatically, since that's the fastest and easiest way to perform this. So we first want to click on the cell where we want the function result to be placed. So in this case, I've already placed the label average, and so once the function is completed, the value of the average will be placed in that particular cell. So in this case, it's going to be in cell B17. Okay, the next thing we want to do is click on the Formulas tab, and then click on the Insert Function button. So now we see the Insert Function dialog box. So the function we want to use, we've got several ways we can locate it. We can use the Search for a Function box and the Go button. We can type in a description of what it is we're looking to do. Or we can select a category like Statistical, and then a function, or selecting a function from the list that shows the most recently used functions. But we're going to select a category of Statistical, and the function we're interested in doing is the average, so we want to highlight that. So double click on the average function, and then we'll see the function arguments box. Okay, and what you'll see here are the cells that we wish to analyze already entered into the values box. Now when we enter a function in a cell below a column of data, Excel is going to assume that you want the function to operate on that data in that column. So the appropriate cells very often will automatically appear as the range in the dialog box. If you have Excel enter a function and there is no data above that cell, then you will have to enter the range of data in the dialog box yourself. So as we look at this dialog box, let's take a look at what's actually in it, so you have a sense of what will be available to you as far as information. So first of all, we have the the name of the function, in this case average, and then there are text boxes where we enter the range of cells, in other words the argument in which you want the function to perform its duty. So you'll notice that the actual numbers in each cell are listed next to this text box, and in the text box you'll see the range of cells that we're trying to analyze, in this case B2 through B15. Now, right below the argument boxes is the actual value of the function. So in this case, the average is going to be 30.71. Halfway down the dialog box is a description of what the function does. Here returns the average arithmetic mean. Next is the syntax or directions of how to put the function together. The formula result follows at the bottom. And then there's also a help button if we need some additional help. Now, if Excel recognizes the data in which you want to apply the function, click OK and you're done. if the data that you actually want to analyze is not in the text box, you can click on this button here known as the Ref Edit button. You can use your mouse and highlight the range of cells that you want to have entered into the function. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and click on the Ref Edit button again and then click OK. So if we go ahead and click on OK, we'll notice here's the mean entered into the function outcome box as we indicated as we asked for it to be done. Now another thing to look at is we look at the formula window at the top here. You can again see the function or the form that all functions will take. It will always begin with an equal sign, then the syntax of the function, and then the range of the cells that that function is being performed upon. Now, we could enter this data in manually, or this function in manually. So we'd have to know the name of the function and the syntax of the function. So we could actually type in the equal sign, type in the word average, and then type in the range of scores as well. So we could enter this in manually, but obviously doing it automatically is quite a bit faster. So hopefully this video helps you understand how to use basic functions, and we'll get into specific functions, a lot more different specific functions in other videos. But hopefully this gives you a sense of how functions work and how the basic process of selecting functions works, as well as getting outcome from these specific functions.